Everyone, welcome back to the Professional English course Intermediate Level Part 1 by Life Changers Academy. Okay, so in this today's video we are going to learn about workplace communication essentials. That means no matter what job you do, okay, communication plays a huge role in your success. Okay, you might be talking with your manager, or else you will be discussing tasks with the teammates, or else you are attending a meeting, or else communicating with the clients. In all these situations, the way you communicate can make a big difference. Okay, so in this lesson we will explore how to communicate professionally and then confidentially as so effectively in a workplace environment. Okay, let's get started. So first of all, we are going to learn about what is workplace communication. Okay, first let us understand what is workplace communication actually means. Workplace communication is nothing but it's like a change of information between people at work. Okay, it can happen through the conversation or emails, meetings, phone calls, presentations, or even the instant messages. Okay, think about a workplace where nobody communicate clearly means what happens. It may cause misunderstandings first, and then we don't know what tasks they need to complete, or else how many deadlines may be missed. Okay, we don't know anything. Okay, so that's why communication is the most important skill in any profession. Okay, so that's why we have to learn the workplace communication. And then you guys are having doubt what is the importance of learning this workplace communication. So first, it improves your teamwork. That means when everyone communicates clearly, team members understand their roles and responsibilities, right? Then second one, it builds the strong relationship. Okay, professional communication creates trust, respect, and positive connection among the colleagues. Okay, and then third one, increases the productivity. When instructions and expectations are communicated properly means people can complete their task very efficiently. Okay, and then fourth one, it reduces the misunderstanding. So we already know that clear communication prevents the confusions. Also it will avoid the mistake as well as the unnecessary conflicts. Okay, so good communication doesn't help you speak better, it helps an entire organization to be functions better. Okay, then another one is understanding professional conversations. Okay, that means how to understand the professional conversations. Professional conversation is completely different from the casual conversations. Casual conversation is we will talking with our friends, our colleagues, and then our homemates, right? The professional communication is only communicate with the higher officials and then manager and so on. Okay, at work we need to be respectful, clear, and focused on the topic that are being discussed. Okay, so the first is clear communications. Clear communication means we should express our idea in a simple and direct way. That means in a concise way. Okay, you should not say like a story. Okay, the higher officials getting bored. So like that. And then professional language. Okay, the second one is the professional language. That means using appropriate vocabularies that helps more professional as well as more polite way. Okay, and third one is the respectful tone. That means even when we disagree something means we should communicate properly in a respectful tone. Okay, you should not say you are wrong. Instead you can say in my perspective I think like that. Likewise you will be talking in a respectful tone. Okay, and then active listening. And finally this one is active listening. Communication is not only about speaking. Okay, listening carefully is equally important because it helps us understand others and respond more effectively. Okay, next I'm going to see about workplace communication scenarios. Okay, let's talk about some common situations where workplace communication is used every day. Okay, one common scenario is discussing about project. Okay, team members sharing their updates, assign tasks, and discuss the deadlines. Okay, discussing about the projects. Okay, in the workplace communication means you have when the team is discussing about the project, and another one asking for updates. Sometimes we need to check the progress of a task, right? We should do it in a polite way. Okay, and then giving the feedbacks. Giving feedback is also important thing. Feedback only help others improve, but it should always be in a constructive as well as the respectful manner. Okay, meeting discussion. This one is like during the meetings, employees share their ideas, solving the problems, also making the decisions together, right? For example, instead of saying what's happening with the project, a more professional way you can say that could you please provide an update on the project. So this will sounds more professional as well as in a polite way. Okay, so you can be practicing in this way. Okay, so these are the scenarios the workplace, the team will be communicate. Okay, and then we will see another one concept, that is speaking confidently at work. So many people know English, but they still hesitate to speak at work because the lack of confidence. Okay, the good news is that confidence can be developed through practice only. Okay, one simple tip is to speak clearly and at a comfortable pace. Okay, there is no need to speak too fast. Okay, first of all, you don't need to speak fast. Okay, you will be relaxing yourself, and you will be sharing your ideas. Okay, you will not being hesitate, being nervous and talking very fastly. Okay, the other person who is listening your conversation will not able to understand what you are saying. Okay, so that you have to relax first and you have to share your ideas. Okay, and then you have to be in a confident in your idea. You should not be in a dilemma mood. That means you didn't know whether this work or not. Likewise, you don't speak. Okay, you should confident in your point of view. You should be confident in your idea. Okay, so that only it will be easy to communicate with other members. Okay, so you should be in a correct way. You should be in a confident way. Okay, and before important meetings and presentation, prepare your key points in your advance. Okay, preparation reduces nervousness. Okay, and increases the confidence. Okay, you have to prepare your key points and all. Okay, when you communicate clearly means people are more likely to trust your ideas and value your confident contributions. Okay, that means when you share your idea with the full confidence means you believe in your idea. Okay, so that the team will automatically accept your idea. Okay, when you are in a dilemma mode means the team also say that your idea didn't work. Likewise. Okay, so you have to be in a confidence with your point of view. Okay, so that it will be work. Okay, so why this matters means it will be build a strong professional image, increasing trust from colleagues, improve teamwork and collaborations. Okay, so speaking confidently is also an important thing. And then another one is confident workplace expressions. Okay, now let's learn some professional expressions that you can start using immediately. Okay, if you want to share an idea means you can say I would like to share my idea on this topic. See the examples in the screen. Okay, okay, you will I would like to share my thoughts. Likewise, you will be using likewise you will be using this phrases. Okay, and then if you are expressing the confidence means I believe this approach. It will work well for our team. First you should be talking like you will believe that idea. Okay, and then receiving feedback means when somebody is giving you feedback means you will be reply like thank you for your feedback, I appreciate your input. Likewise. Okay, and then seeking clarity means could you please clarify the point for me. Like this you will be using the phrases. Okay, using these phrases helps you to sound more professional as well as in a respectful manner in the workplace conversations. Okay, and then next one is the formal versus informal communications. Okay, so how to communicate in a formal way as well as informal way. Okay, so one important skill, this is also an important skill in professional English. Okay, informal communication is usually used with the close colleagues during casual conversation with our friends, our housemates. Okay, formal communication is used in a meetings, presentations, mails, discussions, and when you are talking with your higher officials means you will be using the formal communications. Okay, this sounds more professional as well as polite way. Okay, remember the goal isn't to sound complicated. Okay, the goal is to sound respectful as well as in a appropriate for the situations. Okay, so that's how we have using a formal and informal way. See, the formal way you are saying hi, and then informal way hi, here hello. Okay, thanks, thank you, can you, could you please. See the difference between these two words. This will shows more professional, right? I need this, I would appreciate this. See how the wordings. Okay, this is how you have to communicate with your higher officials. Okay guys. Okay, Well, we are going to see way to use formal communication. So, what is the situations we are using the formal communication? Okay, in meetings and presentations, formal languages helps you communicate clearly as well as in a professionally. For example, when writing a professional emails and all, formal communication ensures that your message is respectful as well as well structured. Okay, so client interactions are another area where professionalism matters because first impression often influence long-term business relationship, right? Yes, and of course, job interviews requires formal and confident communication because the employers evaluate both your skills and your communications. Okay, in these situations, formal communication helps to build trust and professionalism. Okay, you will be using in a meeting, you will be using in a question, email, client interaction, and interviews. Okay, these are the main areas you will be using the formal communication. Okay, guys, and then this is your time to practice these three, not these sentences, these phrases. Okay, so imagine if your manager asks about your project means you will be respond professionally by using these phrases. Okay, and then suppose you want to share an idea during a meeting means you will be using this phrase. Okay, and when receiving a feedback from somebody or else from your colleagues or else from your higher officials means you will be respond to the feedback like this phrase. Okay, so I encourage you to pause the video and practice these sentences aloud. Okay, the more you practice only, the more the natural professional communication will become. Okay, so practice these sentences aloud until they feel natural. Okay, repetition builds confidence. Okay, practice only makes you perfect. Okay, repeatedly you will be going to practice means you will be very comfortable with professional English. Okay, so the end of this session. Okay, I hope you learn all these concepts: professional conversation, how to speak confident. You will be. I hope you will be familiar with the formal versus informal communication, and I hope you practice the activity also. Okay. So thank you for watching. If you found this lesson helpful, means you will share it to your friends also. Okay. Ask your friends to do these activities also. Okay. So see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Also keep learning with life changes. Thank you guys.